on this journey, on this quest to find the worst cartoon of all time, one that I've kind of steered away from because of my fear of it ruining the entire franchise for me, is Total Dramarama. I immediately hated the concept of this show because I understand Total Drama wasn't really at its peak anymore. Ever since season 3 it was just nosediving, but once we got to Redonkulous Race I was like, yeah, spin-off baby, new host, the characters feel a little bit fresh, we're going in a different direction. But then just studios and corporations, they come in and they're like, oh boy, we're just not making a lot of money off of this show that can appeal to a wider audience. Let's appeal to brain-rotted toddlers. Oh boy, let's make them all fucking children. At least that's how I view Total Dramarama, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's one of the greatest passion projects of all time. Maybe it has heart, maybe it has soul, maybe it's hilarious. That's what I'm going to be trying to find out today by taking a look at 2 of the best episodes, 2 of the worst episodes, and 2 random episodes to decide, was Total Dramarama good or bad? And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe because I upload almost every single day. And if you want a place where you can talk about your favorite shows, movies, games, all that good stuff, my Discord will be in the description. Now let's take a look at Total Dramarama. Starting us off, taking a look at one of the best episodes in the series with a 9.1 on IMDb, we have A Whole Lot of Trouble. And I have just one main interesting question. I would have loved to be in the boardroom meeting for Total Dramarama.
Alright guys, so I know we have the show and a lot of fans of it and they all really like the premise and we just had Redonkulous Race. Like, it's doing pretty well, but you know, I think we should just get rid of everything that fucking worked and turn them all into fucking children and just have them do random shenanigans.
Sir? Shouldn't we just make a brand new show then and not call it Total Drama if it's not even gonna remotely be similar?
No, you fucking stupid-ass, dumbass bitch moron. Somebody give that guy testicular torsion right now. Grab his balls and twist them.
I guarantee you that's probably what the conversation was like in the board meeting, because it just doesn't make any sense why you would call this a Total Drama show. Because what Total Drama fan is gonna click on this and be like, yes, I'm in the past. Oh my god, the nostalgia, it's just consuming me. It's just a completely different premise, so I don't really feel like I'm watching Total Drama aside from some of the characters. The only character that actually worked for me in this episode was Izzy, and that's because her entire deal, her shtick, is just to be crazy, and it just works. I liked Izzy in Total Drama, I like her here. She's just crazy. It just works. So the episode opens with lightning, you know, I forget his catchphrase, but like, shablamo, shabla shabla, anybody want to play catch with me? And all the kids sound abysmal, by the way. They sound like they're trying to do an awful impression of the, like, grown-ups voice actors. And I was thinking, like, you know, just have fun with it. Just get the OG voice actors to voice the characters because nobody's gonna care. It's Total Dramarama, and it would probably make the show sound a lot better than a bunch of high-pitched mice talking for a while. Either way, I'm just being negative. Lightning, he wants to play catch, so he gets Courtney, Cody, and Izzy, and they're about to play catch, but it starts raining, and I actually do enjoy the scene where Izzy is shouting at the rain, "Why are you sad? Why?" I liked that. I don't know, Izzy is really the only thing that works and the only crutch supporting this episode.
Oh no! Why are the clouds crying? Tell us who made you sad!
So they have to figure out a way to play catch inside, and then Izzy just starts spouting a bunch of nonsense about all the things that they have to worry about with playing catch inside and how it's so detrimental to the entire world. So she starts going through these like nonsensical scenarios of breaking a hole in the wall, which was kind of whatever. It's just a lot of physical comedy, and if you're not really a fan of it as it's going on, you probably won't be a fan of it for the rest of the episode. I thought it was okay. It's visually entertaining.
Man! Ah!
None of the jokes land in this episode, except later on. I'll get to that in a sec. But for the majority, it's just, I don't care. I don't care what's going on. I really don't. I was just thinking, man, maybe if they used this budget to create a brand new show in like an alien world, an alien preschool where they did alien shenanigans, it could have been cooler instead of this nonsense, but whatever. They imagine like rats being intelligent and taking over the world. They imagine all of their different punishments from Chef. Just a bunch of decent visuals, okay? There's nothing too crazy going on. It's just a bunch of different hypothetical situations. But The one thing that I actually did enjoy is when Izzy gets a little bit meta and she's all like, all right guys, if we play catch, we're gonna end up someday being teenagers all of a sudden stuck on an island with a host named Chris McClane, and he's gonna be making us do insane stunts like jumping off of a fucking cliff. And then we just cut to them actually being teenagers and doing all of that. So, yeah, I thought the meta stuff was funny.
Compete in a horrible reality TV game show.
It's time for Total Drama Something!
That was a good use, but then again, I was just thinking, well, if the main joke of the episode that they're pouring money into creating is about the OG show, it just kind of felt like, oh, hey guys, you know, like, it's still total drama, like, I know we're not doing anything related to that and we're in a preschool, but look, do you remember when we made a contest show with a bunch of kooky characters competing for money? Do you remember that? Like, it was cool to see it, but it was clearly just like, all right, guys, let me just smash it up for you. Oh, that's a good nostalgia bump. That's all it was for. Why not just make the show again? Like, I know they rebooted it in the future, probably because Total Dramarama was so unbelievably ass, but why not just continue doing what works? I don't understand who pitched this and why. Either way, that's pretty much the entire episode. They, learn that they shouldn't play catch inside, and then the sun comes out and they still make a hole in the wall. It's just unbelievably average. I'm not gonna say any of it is bad per se. Even if I was watching this as a kid, the entire time I would just be thinking, what is the point? I don't get it. Because none of the jokes are actually very funny, and they're not even really telling jokes. It's just all physical comedy. The only jokes is Izzy saying crazy things, and that in itself isn't really a joke. It's just, oh, and then we saw a UFO. Oh, and then we were in a whale's belly. Oh, and then Chef pushed us out into the moon. It's not actually a joke. It's just completely relying on the visuals, which is fine. But again, I just don't really get the point. I don't know. Maybe I'm just unk status over here. I understand I'm not the target audience. I can't wait to get the comments. Oh, Carlos, you stupid dumb bitch. Why do you even care? It's just a cartoon. You're getting too worked up. I don't care. I'm looking for wonderful comedy that could educate the world on the beauty of cartoons, and this is just not it. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's fine for what it is. It's okay. I just don't really get the point, and I think the only thing that helps the episode stand out is its visuals. Other than that, it's pretty mediocre. I never really thought any episode could top the Sanjay and Craig Fart Baby episode as being the worst media I've ever covered, but here we are. The episode Total Eclipse of Fart, which is said to be one of the worst episodes in the series and is unrated, probably because anybody who saw this episode didn't even want to talk about it because it's a fetish nightmare, is actually one of the worst pieces of media I have ever seen. I don't know who would find this funny. I can't imagine a kid finding it funny. I definitely can't imagine a grown adult even feeling okay drawing this. It is so unbelievably bad. I just can't express that enough. This episode opens with Ashana losing a tooth. She accidentally swallows it, so she goes home and tries to make a fake tooth. That doesn't work, and she captures a different creature. One of the worst creatures that has ever been designed. The Fart Fairy. And the Fart Fairy could have just been, oh, I'm gonna rip ass, and my episode still sucks because I'm farting all over the place. Oh man, but it's so much worse than that. It's actually hard to talk about. It makes my bones feel like they're gonna snap. My blood is boiling, and I'm in agony. I've never had to, like, visually cover my eyes while watching something, but here we fucking are. The Fart Fairy, he's like, I'm in charge of all the world's farts. And he makes the kids fart. And then we just get to watch him just go, oh, yeah. And we get a bunch of different flashbacks of all of the children just squeezing, ripping, stinky ass as this little creature just, oh yeah, I need that fart. You gotta fart for me. Oh man, what the fuck is this fetish type shit? I don't like it at all. Definitely somebody who's into farting, I guess, definitely coordinated this episode. I can imagine the boardroom meeting. Guys, please! Please, just let me watch the young 4-year-olds fart, please. Draw me like the little leprechaun fairy dude. Draw me inhaling it. Please! What is wrong with you? You cannot tell me there was one person in the studio watching this little fairy inhale 4-year-old's farts deeply and passionately going, my son's gonna love this. No. It was definitely the guy who's got no kids, no family, watches some weird stuff, and wanted to see a little version of Courtney just rip ass, and then he sucked it all up. God, how can you even get 4 minutes into this episode without realizing this is a horrible idea? It is by far one of the worst things that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Beth, did you just...
It's actually making me unbelievably angry that something like this was ever allowed to air. And I thought this show was just gonna be fine, mediocre at best, but holy shit, this is going to be engraved in my memory now as one of the worst things I've ever seen. Either way, the episode pushes on because I just had to keep going. Cartoon Review Channel, I can't be stopped. And eventually the fart fairy collapses to the ground because he's been ripping so much stank that he needs everybody to start farting on him. So we get to watch Owen rip stank on him. Beth, it even does like the thing where you get to watch her go like, and rip it. Yeah, I hate describing this shit. It's so bad. They're all just ripping onto him. He's just, oh, it's not enough, lads. I need more. And the entire thing is hinging on the fact that Lashana says that she doesn't fart. So I knew what was coming. And Owen couldn't get it out, so Lashana just releases the biggest one yet. And the fart fairy just inhales all of it, and he's feeling much better. And that's the end of the episode. Wow. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I guess maybe there's some people out there who would find this funny, and if you're one of those people, please never come near me. Please never talk to me. Please reconsider a lot of the things in your life because you like watching little kids. Oh God, man. Oh God. Like the Sanjay and Craig one, it was bad just because I had to watch a kid get pregnant with a fart baby and I had to watch him physically give birth, and they just animated it in very, like, ominous detail. But they could have, there's a little bit of hope that it's not a fetish. They just genuinely thought it was funny. Here, there's just so much of sniffing and inhaling, and they're very much toddlers that it bothers me on a whole new level, man. I don't know. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would give it 0. I'm never watching this ever again. The next best episode I'm going to be taking a look at with a 8.1 on IMDb is The Golden the Stickerful, and I actually kind of like this episode. I can't even lie, I thought it was a lot of fun. Maybe it's just because it has a Lord of the Rings parody in there, and Lord of the Rings just encompasses everyone. We can feel it in our bones, the story, the journey to destroy the ring. Or it's just a well-executed 11-minute story about a kid going insane. Either way, I had fun. So this episode opens with a bunch of trash being at the preschool or daycare or whatever you want to call it. And Chef, he implements a sticker board where you can get some gold stars. How exciting, which drives Courtney a little bit insane. Every time she gets a star, she gets a dopamine rush. Like, she's like, oh yes, stars. It's like Fent. I wouldn't be surprised if this version of Courtney just grows up to be smoking Marlboro Reds because she just, oh, the dopamine, oh, give me more gold stars. Pass the Fent. Pass it now. That's basically how she's acting in this. She just goes absolutely insane for those stars. Just, you know, early onset addiction problems are clearly developing within a young Courtney. She starts doing all the chores, gets all the stickers, and Chef, he's just handing them out left and right. I don't really like this version of Chef. I'm not a big fan of how he behaves in the show because it's so far off from how he is in Total Drama, where he's like, you know, military man, kind of a badass, like, oh, you talking to me? I don't know. I can't think of a Chef quote. But here, it's kind of like he's Gordon Ramsay when Gordon Ramsay is judging on a kid's show. Instead of, where's the fucking lamb sauce? Where is it? It's raw! It's like, oh wow, you're an exquisite chef. Oh my gosh. This tastes like shit, but it's divine. What did you do, piss in it? That's basically how Chef behaves in this episode and probably the entire series. And it just feels off to me. That's kind of my only problem with it. Everything else is pretty decent. Courtney eventually has so many stars that she runs out of things to do, which causes her to go a little bit crazy. I really like this one scene where she's just sitting on the floor ripping a bunny's ears off. Well, not a real bunny, a stuffed bunny, and she's like, if there's no mess, you have to create one.
Can't fix them till you break them.
I liked that. And then, eventually, all the other kids realize that this is going insane, so they decide that they're going to throw the sticker board in the furnace, and that's when we get full-on Courtney as, you can't destroy the ring. You can't. It's mine. It's my sticker board. You can't do that. I will kill you. And she starts going insane, kidnapping the kids left and right, and it's just overall pretty entertaining. I'm not even having a remotely bad time. They eventually do throw it in the furnace, and Courtney returns to normal because her frontal lobe starts working again. Either way, I had a fun time, which I'm actually pretty shocked about. It proves that they can still tell good stories, but again, necessarily, this didn't need to be about total drama. The characters are just, oh, hey, I know that character. I remember them. You could have easily made a brand new show with, different kids. The Total Drama moniker is only on there to attract Total Drama fans, and I still don't think they would prefer this over the actual show, but either way, on its own, it's pretty decent. If I was to rate it 1 to 10, I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the progression was great. I thought Courtney's slow descent into madness was a lot of fun. There were some jokes that actually landed, and it was overall a really good time. Taking a look at another one of the worst episodes in the series that is also unrated, we have the episode Life of Pi, and compared to a grown fairy with a orange beard inhaling little kids' farts, this is miles ahead of that, but it's still not very good. I just kind of found it uninteresting. The premise was fun, to say the least. The episode starts off with Courtney making some meta jokes about how Chef's car is going to get destroyed, but they clean it anyway, so he rewards them with a frozen pizza. What are we gonna do with the frozen pizza? Oh no, bro!
Sandwich in half.
So they go inside and electrocute it with a defibrillator. Yay. So the pizza's alive now, and the pizza's like, guys, please eat me, please eat me. He wants to be eaten so bad because it's a pizza's purpose. It'll just make him bust everywhere if these little kids eat him. That's great. Don't quote me on that. That was bad. So Owen is struggling with the fact that he shouldn't eat them because all the other kids, they don't want him to eat the pizza.
But now that we're done, who's ready to eat me?
You want us to eat you?
So they're trying to show the pizza around town to give him a better life, a better view of the world, and it's okay. The only time I was really having a decent time was when Izzy was explaining other things he could do in life, and she says stuff like, you could work at a Parmesan factory! Silly Izzy! That's just gonna make him more tasty! Oh man, see, I'm laughing. I'm having a great time. That was really funny. So we go through all of this nonsense about trying to show the pizza a better world, and then the kids leave for 1 second, and Chef just, eats them. And then the pizza comes back as a ghost and is like, thank you so much. This is exactly what I needed to be eaten because I've been ate. Yeah, that's great. That's pretty much the episode. If I was to rate it 1 to 10, I would give it a 4. You know, it's kind of middle of the road stuff, but I just found it really boring. Heading over to the random category, we have the episode School District 9, and I had no expectations going into this. I didn't think it would be anything above average. I thought it would just be average, and that's kind of what I got here. It has my favorite thing in the world. We got our greatest show writer, Bud Sniffing Larry, back at it again, with the primary focus of an episode being on young characters ripping stinky ass. How exciting! Oh boy! So Chef has a surprise for everybody, and that it's career day, so they all go into this machine where they get the careers, and the main highlight from here is Courtney crashing out again because Duncan switches cards with her. So Courtney was supposed to be a brain surgeon when she grows up, and Duncan was supposed to be a parking lot meter maid. And she just freaks out about it, and she's like a major highlight.
Are you sure? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that job.
I actually really enjoyed Courtney's character a lot, especially because she's just tweaking and destroying things. So that was fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then all of a sudden, I saw something very ominous, very scary because of what happened in that goddamn Fart Fairy episode. It's a giant spaceship that is literally a nostril, literally a nose. So I was like, oh no, they're gonna come down and they're gonna ask all the children if they can smell them. No! Which they don't do, thankfully. They come down, and it's kind of like that Rick and Morty episode with the giant heads. They actually do, and I quote, go, show me what you got! Yeah, they just make all the kids do the careers that they got, and they all get covered in dirty, stinky slime if they fail, which was okay. Like, I wasn't bored during this. I wasn't entertained either, but I wasn't bored, so that's promising. You have, like, Harold doing interpretive dancing. You have, Izzy calling the military. And the thing that worried me the most about the episode was the fact that Owen was nothing. And knowing Owen from Total Drama, the OG seasons, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna make his special ability ripping stinky ass. Guess what they did? Guess what they did? He rips ass and he saves the planet. Isn't that funny? And hilarious and silly and goofy and oh so extra? Oh my god. Oh my god. He rips ass and the aliens are all like, ugh, can all of you humans do this? I don't like that at all, bro. And so they all leave. Great. And then we get Stink Wars, a Star Wars parody, which was fine. It's just the scene where Luke is destroying the Death Star, and instead of that, it's Owen with his ass hanging out of a ship, and he just goes just right into the hole and destroys it. What a hero. What a goddamn fucking American hero, man. That's the type of stuff I live for, just right there. Oh, wait, they're Canadian. My bad. Canadian hero, eh? Yeah. This episode was fine, I guess. I don't know, I didn't really like the ending, but that's just me personally. There's probably a lot of people out there who love just Stanky being ripped, and so they were probably like, not me, though. This episode's a 5 out of 10. Just average. It's nothing special. There's really nothing I liked except for Courtney tweaking. That was just about it. Total Dramarama definitely has its ups, and from what I could see, its downs are some of the lowest things that I've ever seen in any form of media ever. Does that make it a bad show, though? I don't know, it's just kind of painfully average the majority of the time. There's nothing that would even remotely help this show to stand out compared to any of its competitors on whichever network, Nickelodeon, Disney, or even its Cartoon Network itself. I would much rather watch even Teen Titans Go over Total Dramarama. It's just really boring. It doesn't need to exist in the first place. All of the characters from Total Drama coming to the show to be kid versions of themselves, it just definitely didn't need to happen. There's no point to it. The only reason that the show exists under the name Total Dramarama is solely because they wanted to cash out on the fact that it's using the Total Drama name. I feel like if this show was with brand new characters, with entirely new personalities, they did something crazy with the world, I feel like the show would be more positively received other than that Fart Fairy episode. Whoever made that, I hope you rot. I hope you rot away. Wherever you are. That was bad. I hope you're not making more stuff like that. That was really awful. But I don't know, for the majority of the time it was just painfully average. I did enjoy one episode a lot, but one episode does not showcase the entire beauty of a show, I suppose. And I'm not seeing the full picture here. Maybe I just got some of the worst episodes you could ever hope to see, but I couldn't even get to the 6th episode because I was just so unbelievably done with this show. And yeah, probably not going to re-explore this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.